I hope you're well. Today's video is about stereotypes around Black women. The reason why I thought to do this video is because recently I asked my husband to create me 3 images of Black women, one reading, one resting, one looking regal, and I asked him to do it on AI. He used AI to do it. I'm not really a fan. I'm slowly becoming more of a fan of AI. I'm very much, look at iRobot, they're going to take over type mindset. But at the end of the day, AI is very useful. We get to use it to like help enhance our writing and our sales copy and different things like that. So it is very useful. We still need to use our brain and read and write. But I do like the fact that you can play around with it and create lovely images as well. But I also need to show appreciation for people who are real artists who really draw and even use AI to create beautiful images. So if you are an artist or you're an AI artist as well, please leave a comment down below. Or if you're a graphic designer, because we want to big up all of the people who have this God-given talent. We want to big you up, and no computer can ever replace you. So anyway, the first picture I want to take a look at. Now, since he ordered them for me, I've not actually had a proper look at the pictures. And sometimes with AI, I know at the moment it's getting better, but sometimes they look a bit funny. So the first image is a woman reading. Can you see that? I hope you can. It's a woman sitting by a tree. She's in her lovely, comfy dress and she's reading. We can say she's reading the Bible. She's reading the Bible or she's reading a book. The eye, can you see the eye looks a bit funny? That's the only thing sometimes with these AI images. I forgot the platform that he used. I'll put it down in the comments once I ask him. I know you can use Chat GPT as well, but I don't think he used it for these images. But anyway, I ramble. So the reason why I wanted this image of a Black woman reading is because, and with her natural hair as well, you see she just got her natural hair out, is because I don't know if you've heard it said before, there's a popular saying that if you want to keep information from a Black person, put it in a book. I've heard that as a little, and I'm sure you all have heard it too. And that's the thing. It's this stereotype of Black people don't read. And I think we know at this point that, many Black people are highly educated and achieved and all of these things. And we do read. We do read. And, something that I need to speak to regarding this stereotype is a few weeks ago, months ago, it was back in February. It just ended up being Black History Month. We ended up watching Roots with the girls. Now, this was my husband's idea because initially when he said he wanted to show them Roots, I was thinking, oh, it's too heavy, Roots. And but I'm so glad that we watched it with them because I had seen Roots as a little girl. My sister had it on like video cassette. I think she had 3 parts, or maybe it was all the parts on 3 videos. But I didn't actually remember that it was an 8-part series. And for those of you who don't know, Roots is a book that came out many years ago. I'm not sure what year it actually came out. I'll add all this information. But the series, the 8-part series back in the 70s was based on that book. And it was a star-studded cast. And it is a beautiful storyline of someone just paying homage. It's a fictional account, but it's loosely based on true events. Well, loosely based on many true events that happened to our ancestors. And he bases it on his great grandfather Kunta Kinte, who was from, if I remember correctly, Gambia, and it was a tribe who were Muslim, and then they were taken away into slavery. And I'm so glad that we watched it because there were so many themes that it touched on. But one of the things that I just want to mention is there was a girl, his Kunta Kinte's daughter. She knew how to read because one of the master's daughter, or his niece, was her good friend. Her and this lady, they got along very well as little girls, and as they grew up, she taught her how to read. And there was a scene in Roots where she was reading to her and she was saying, oh, I don't want to get caught reading. And she was reading to her. I can't remember all of the names. And she, when the master came into the room, she had to like hide and pretend, oh, she's just pretending that she can read. And just seeing that again, obviously we've heard these things, but seeing that again reminded me of the fact that when we say, oh, if you want to hide information from a black person, put it in a book, we need to actually remember the fact that they weren't allowed to read. For those of us, like myself, who are descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, and yes, we have a history from before the slave trade, right? But for those of us who are descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, you have to remember that our ancestors were not allowed to read. They had a redacted version of the Bible. Christianity was used as a tool to bring them down. Not Bible now. I'm not talking about the Bible. I'm talking about Christianity was used as a tool to reinforce that you're down here and that that you should be glad for the position that you're in. All of these types of things, and respect your master. And it's like they were being bred to believe that no matter how you're treated, this is God's will, this is the right thing, white people are above you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So we need to remember that people say these little quips, about black people, but what is the history behind black people and reading? What is the history behind that? We weren't allowed to read. If you were caught reading, you could get whipped, or even, I don't know, it could even be worse. And so that's just something I want people to remember, the fact that, like, your ancestors, weren't allowed to read. And guess what, ladies? Now we can live that soft girl life and read our Bible. You can read your Bible, on your phone. Even at my house right now, we have what, one, two, three, four. We have at least five Bibles just in my home alone. And I know many people like that. So we actually have access to so many books, to so much information, but my ancestors were stopped from reading. So how beautiful is that? Praise Yah, that I can freely read. I can go on a bus, I can go on the train, I can go on a plane, I can go anywhere I want, and I can read in my garden, in my home, and I don't have to have the fear of someone coming to get me and stop me from reading. I'm so grateful for that privilege to be able to read. So let's read the Bible more. Let's read more about our history. And just another point on Roots. Something that people say a lot of the time, what I used to say is, oh, I don't want to watch Roots because it's going to make me hate white people. And yes, when you watch it, you do feel like a way because you're seeing all the injustice. But at the end of the day, let's remember not all white people are racist. And a lot of times when you're looking at these things, you have to remember classism is an issue as well. There were many upper class white people who looked down on the lower class, and they were treated the same as black people, maybe a bit better in certain instances, or the same or worse. So classism is an issue as well. So let's just remember that not all white people are racist, just like how not all black people love everybody. And there are many times that I'm sure we've heard black people, it could have been you yourself, make a joke or make an ignorant statement about another group of people or another race or someone in your family. So let's kind of stop putting it all on one race and remember that all of us can be ignorant and nasty and prejudiced. We've all got work to do, yeah? And another thing on Roots, again, I wanted to do a whole separate video on why you should watch Roots. I don't know if I'll do that, but just to mention again, like, I think it's important for us to remember that even when we watch these movies and shows on slavery, it's just scratching the surface. It's actually just scratching the surface. I used to be one of those people who would say, oh, we've seen enough slave movies, I don't want any more. And I still agree with that in a sense, because I feel like, okay, if you're going to do slave movies, then put out movies about black people being successful and happy families and positivity. As long as we have a balance, you can show it all, because at the end of the day, it's history and it happened. But I've said this before and I'll say it publicly. Sometimes I feel like every 2 years I'm learning about some new injustice that happened to my ancestors. Sometimes I feel like every 2 years I'm finding out about some new horrible thing that was done to them. So trust and believe when I say, a lot of times when we're watching these movies and shows about how they were treated, they're making it light. They're making it digestible. Yeah. Let's just put it that way. Because if they were to really show some of the things that were done, if they were to really keep it real, I don't think anybody could watch it. And that's the reality. So I really do believe that whether it's reading a book with your children, you don't necessarily have to show them roots. You can decide, what age. My girls are younger, they're 9 and 7. And it was good for them to see it because it helped them to have an appreciation for what has happened and how privileged they are today. But you know the temperament of your child, whether or not they could handle it. But I think for all of us who have seen Roots before, definitely watch it again because it's so well done. And the way how it breaks down everything, like the mindset, him losing his culture, the attitude of the Black people who were already in America towards him, and just so many different things that it touches on. And again, the fact that not all white people are racist, you know what I mean? A lot of people during those times stood up for us and tried to do their best to help out. So let's just put everything into perspective. And you also have to remember that even in Africa, there were certain tribes who were selling other tribes into slavery. They were the slave catchers. So if we're going to be mad at some, let's be mad at all of them. Let's be mad at everybody that took part in slavery. Okay, so now that I've said all of that, the second picture is to do with rest. Rest. Can you see? You see, this one didn't come out too bad, did it? It didn't come out too bad. Do you see? The AI is all right because the skin, it's showing the reflection, and then you got the fireplace and all of that. Yeah, beautiful skin, and she just looks so cozy and feminine in her pink. A Black woman resting, because the reason why that was important for me to get this image is because for a lot of time we hear, oh, strong Black woman, strong Black woman. And one time I saw this picture of like a Black woman's hand. I think people have used this meme for different things, but there was a Black woman's hand in the water saying like, help me. And someone came and went like that. And I thought that captures it perfectly because, we keep on saying strong Black woman. People forget that, hey, the Black woman, she's a human too, and she has feelings. Yeah. And I don't want to be super strong. I want to be able to say, help, I'm struggling. I feel frustrated. I want to be able to say that. I don't want to have to feel like, oh, I better put on the strong face. I better act like I have it all together. No, I don't. I don't always have it all together, and neither did our mums or our grandmothers, but they just had no choice. They had no choice. They just had to get on with it. You see, when I was a child growing up with my mum, like, like obviously I knew who my dad was. I love him dearly. He was in the picture, but we were growing up with our mum. I never really saw my mum break down or say, oh, I need a break. I'm sure she would have wanted to, but she just had no choice in the position that she was in. She had to work. So now we can say we're so grateful for everything that our grandmothers and our mothers and everybody has done for us. And now we know we don't have to be strong. We can give our burdens, we can give our cares to Yah. What does the Aisha say? Cast your cares on me, for I care for you. Right? We know that we have like someone we can depend on. I can depend on my husband. We're a team. I don't have to do it all. I don't want to do it all, especially not at the same time, or I have a nervous breakdown. So we can rest. Black women can rest, and rest is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's a privilege. And, well, do I want to say it's a privilege? Yeah, it's a privilege when you can rest, and it's a blessing. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to be a superwoman. So we can let that go. And I think in general, we've seen a lot more women letting that go over the years because they recognize, like, who am I fooling? I don't have to pretend that I have it all together all the time. I don't have to be this super strong person. And then people think, oh, you're okay, you don't need help. But we all need help. Yahusha himself walked around with 12 disciples. Do you think he needed them? No. And that's the thing, he did need them. He even said, look, watch with me, pray for me. He needed them, but also he was trying to show us, it's like he needed them but he didn't, if you know what I mean. But he was also trying to show us that community is important. Casting your cares on others is important, right? So, like, rest, it's all right. We have nothing to prove. We have absolutely nothing to prove. The third picture. This feels like an unboxing. I feel like one of them rich influencers. Actually, unboxing my shoes. This one, as you can see, is a black. And you know what? The AI did all right. Sometimes the eyes be looking a little funny. Like when you see those videos and sometimes the eyes look like that. But as you can see in this picture, it's a black. Doesn't she look royal? She's royal, yeah, so royal. In my life. So as you can see, she's in the park. She's got the roses and everything, and she's feeling good. And the reason why I wanted that image, and I was thinking, where am I going to put this? At first, I was thinking, oh, should I put it behind me? Should I put them behind me when I'm doing the videos like that? So I might still put them in this room or in the girls' playroom just for them to keep on seeing these lovely images of black women. But the reason why I wanted that image is because how many times growing up have I seen black women, through hip hop, spread out, stretch out, skimpy clothes, immodest clothing, and all of that, sex sells, twerking, like all they're good for is booty shaking and showing skin. And I want to be a proponent of a positive image of black women, and I'm using the term black. We know we're not just black people. Black doesn't denote anything, but, for the sake of this video, I'm saying black, right? And I just think it's so important for us to see, hey, you can be covered up and beautiful. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you exactly what modesty looks like. Modesty looks different for every single person, but you don't have to be showing every single inch, every single, curve, every single curve of cellulite on your body to be sexy. You can be beautiful because what is inside of your mind is beautiful, and also how you put yourself together. And beauty standards are always changing anyway. I was having this conversation recently. I've spoken about my space teeth already and how it took me a long time to accept my teeth. And I'm all right. Now I'm sincerely all right with it. Who knows? I may get braces at some point. I may not. The main thing is, am I happy with me? Because I can't change myself. And even if I had the money to change myself, I wouldn't, because I've seen too many examples of people dying on that table, on that plastic surgeon's table, or things going wrong, or people get the surgery and then they look at themselves and they're like, I still hate myself. Do you see? So I just think it's so important for the girls to see, look, you're a princess, you're a queen, you're a daughter of the king, you're a daughter of Yah. You are beautiful, you're special, you are royal. So let me know which one of those images resonate with you the most. Leave a comment and let me know. And let's do our verse of encouragement. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. And that is from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. All right then, ladies, thank you for watching. And while you are here, please remember to like and subscribe. Bye.